So do you have any questions regarding this explanation? If you have any questions. So I'm going to explain this step by step, right? And then we are going to write this program step by step. Right? I just want to know whether the basic idea is clear. Good question. What about two same like larger values? So again, that means I think you are asking that if there are similar values, same values, right? Yeah. So in that case, we don't have to do anything. So if we have two values, like for example, 65. So these two values, this 65 is here or this 65 is here, doesn't matter, right? Right. So then if values are the same, we don't have to do anything. Right. Then we consider them that they are in the order, in the right order. Values සමාන නම් ඒක right order එකට තියනවා කියලා අපි ගන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්තම් විතරයි, ඒ කියන්නේ right order එකට නැත්තම් විතරයි මාරු කරන්නේ. මේක right order එකට තියනවා කියලා ගන්න. Any other questions? Okay, so let's go to the slides, right? So in bubble sort, so this is what we do, right? So this is suppose these are players in a team, cricket team or whatever, any sport, right? So these are the players. Suppose the coach wants them to be in an order, so based on their height, right? So then this is how we can do that using bubbles, right? The highest or the biggest people has to be in the right. So the smallest has to be in the left, right? So then we compare the first two. In this case, the first one is larger, then we have to swap. And then we compare the second two. Again, they are not, so they are in an order actually. The second one is, so this person is smaller than the third person. So no swap. We don't have to swap there. Then we compare these two. Definitely we have to swap them, right? And then this person comes here. Now he is here. Now then we compare with the next person. So in that case, again, we have to swap. So likewise, so finally, the biggest player would be in the right corner, like this. That means this person is already, like this part is already sorted. We don't have to worry about that. What we have to worry about is the other part. Right? To do that, again, we do comparison. And then we compare, swap. In first case, no swap. This case, swap. Then again, this person would be here. It would be swap. And then this person would be now here. And then in this case, no swap. Then swap, swap, right? In the next case, again swap, right? And then finally, this person would be here, and then maybe no swap. So now this person here. So in this case, as you can understand, we are not just moving the largest person to the right. We are moving like bigger people towards right. Again, අපි හැම වෙලාවෙම මේ ලොකුම එක්කනා විතරක් move කරනව නෙවෙයි, ටිකක් ලොකු අය දකුණු අත පැත්තට චුට්ටක් ඒ පැත්තට තල්ලු කරනවා වගේ වැඩක් කරනවා. උදාහරණයක් විදියට දැන් මෙයා large කෙනෙක් ටිකක් එයා මේ හරියට විතර ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නවා. එයා මෙතෙන්ට ඇවිල්ලා ඉන්නවා. ඊළඟ සැරේ. එතකොට මේ පොඩි කට්ටිය ගොඩක් තමයි මෙතන ඉන්නේ. ලොකු කට්ටිය මේ පැත්තට මැදට ඇවිල්ලා ටිකක්. අර කොනේ හිටපු කට්ටිය. හරි. එතකොට මේ බබල් සෝට් එක කරගෙන යද්දි දැන් පළවෙනි ස්ටෙප් එකෙන් පස්සේ දෙවෙනි ස්ටෙප් එකේදී කලින්ට වඩා ලේසි ටිකක්. එහෙම ස්ටෙප්ස් යන්න මේ ලොකුවට චේන්ජ් කරන්න ඕනේ නැහැ. පොඩි ස්ටෙප්ස් තමයි තියෙන්නේ. ගොඩක් වෙලාවට. Right? Right. So I'm going to explain the bubble sort in words now. Start from the first item of the array. Compare first two items. If second item is smaller, swap two items. Again, remember, I'm talking about ascending order. Ascending order. If the second item is bigger, no swap. Then go to the second and the third and do the same for those two items as well. Likewise, compare items 2 by 2 until the end of the array. When the end is reached, go to the first item again and repeat the process. This time, the process ends at the one index before the last item. Likewise, repeat it again and again until the array is sorted. So those are the steps. Is it clear? Is it clear? Any questions before writing the program? If you have any questions. Arafat, did you understand?
Yes, sir.
Right. So if I give you to write a program for this algorithm, can you do that now? Let's ask someone else as well. Nisal Senanayak. So can you write a program now? So based on these steps, can you write a program? So this is the algorithm, right? So this is the steps of the algorithms. Can you write a program? Let's see what we can do, right? So I'm going to write a method, right? I'm going to write a method like I have done for binary search, right? Let's I don't have to return anything, right? Bubble sort. No inputs are necessary. In this class, we have already we have an array. Right? We have an array. So no inputs are necessary. But if you are writing this method, right? If you are writing this method in a different class, just to do bubble sort, you can take an input into whatever the type array. Right? Array එකක් මේ input එකක් විදිහට ගන්න වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. එහෙම ඕනනම් එහෙම අරගෙන ඒ array එක sort කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙම නැත්නම් අපිට දැන් මේකේ නම් මේ array එකක් තියෙනවනේ මේ class එකකින්. අපිට ඒ array එක sort කරන්න පුළුවන්. එහෙනම් මම මෙහෙම ගන්නෙ නෑ. හරි. මම sort කරන්න ලෑන්නේ අපි ගාව තියෙන array. Sorting the array in an ascending order. Right. Right. The first thing, start from the first item of the array. Right. Array. Array no. Zero and array 1. We compare. So we have to compare if array 0 is greater than array item array index 1. කියන්නේ මේ බිඳුවේ තියෙන එක එකේ තියෙන එකට වඩා ලොකු නා. එහෙමනම් මොකද කරන්න ඕනේ? swap කරන්න. Swap. Right. If left item is greater the right. Swap. How to do the swap? So we can use a temp and we can assign the 0 value and then 0th value, 0th index item can be replaced with 1. Then 1 can be replaced with temp. Right. So this is how we do the swapping. Then we have to do these next two items, right? So we have to do that first 2 items and then next 2 items and so on. To do that, we need a loop actually, right? We need a loop. So let's create that loop. Int I starts with 0 and I goes up to the last item. The last item would be in this case n. So that would be the last index that we can have. Go one by one. Right, this all has to be in the loop. Okay, then here, so we may have to use I and then I plus 1. something like this. This swapping part can be moved into another method for the clarity. Swapping two items. In an array. Right? Then actually, instead of using these, so we can just put int item one or any one. Int item two. These two are going to be index one or index two. Right? Okay. We can just hold this method. Array ID, array. Okay, very simple. So later we are going to deal with this last one. Huh? Later we are going to deal with that. So somehow we do this. Actually, this is just one. Like we compare these two, and then if we need swap, we do that, and then we do this, and whatever we go to up to this. Then again we start over. We start with the first item, and then in the next run we go up to this. Can I මේ විදිහට මෙහෙම compare කර මේ කොනටම යනවා. ඒක තමයි පළවෙනි run, first run. In the second run, we again do the comparisons, and then we go up to the one before the last. That's the second run. So likewise, we have to go multiple runs. To indicate those multiple runs, we have to use another loop. Int I, okay, so OJ. Right. Or I can use I for this one and J for this. right? So in this case, I goes up to so we have to decide the value here, right? Somehow I goes like this. We need two arrays, right? Right. So then I'm going to right. Okay. Sorry. So this is how we right. So inner loop is okay. So inner loop is okay, fine, right? First time we go up to the nms. පළවෙනි සැරේ අපි යන්නේ මෙන්න මෙතන මේ අගට යනවා කියලා හිතමු. මෙතෙන්ට යනවා. ඊළඟ සැරේ යන්නේ මෙතනින් එකක් අඩු එක. ඊළඟ සැරේ යන්නේ මෙතනින් එකක් අඩු එක. Right? To indicate that බිඳුවෙන් පටන් අරගෙන මෙන්න මෙතන අපි දෙනවා ඒ සීමාව දෙනවා මෙන්න මේ පළවෙනි loop එක. Right? So we are going to change it a little. Can we go up to yeah, we can go up to 1 I then this can go up to I. Is there anything else? No, that's all. Yeah. This one, what we did was here, previously it was n elms. මෙතන n elms කියලා නේ තිබ්බේ. අපි ඒක change කරනවා මෙන්න මෙතන I කියන වැල්ල. ඊට පස්සේ තව පොඩි දෙයක් oh right. Okay, right. කොට මෙන්න මේ වගේ වැඩක් උතන තියෙනවා. right? So we have I and J, right? So the J, the I starts with this one, I. Right? I starts with the last one, this one. Now I is here at the beginning. I is NL minus 1. Then I goes backwards. Loop goes backwards. I කියන එක නා I කියන එක නා දැන් ඉන්නේ මෙතන. Right? Then we go into the inner loop. So outer loop, now the I is the last. If I put numbers here, we do it. I is 9. I is 9. Then we go to the inner loop. J is 0. Right? J is here. J is 0. So that means J is 0. Then inside the loop, so inner loop goes up to I. Up to I. So J and J plus 1. We compare these two. So this is J and this is J plus 1. We compare the items of these indices, right? If swap is necessary, swapping is necessary, we do that, right? Then J incremented by 1. So we do that. If swapping is necessary, we do, and we increment this one, right? So then the next J is incremented. So J is incremented by 1. Now J is here. J is 1. Then J and J plus 1. These items are compared. Compared if swapping is necessary. Then we do the swapping, otherwise we do nothing. And then J is incremented by 1. J is incremented by 1. Now J goes to this. Now J is 2. Now J and J plus 1, we do the comparison. If swapping is necessary, we do the swapping. Otherwise, nothing. Right? Then J is incremented by 1. Now J is here. J is now 3. So likewise, we compare the J and J plus 1. And if necessary, swapping is necessary, we do that. Otherwise, do nothing. And we move. J is moving up to I. Now I is 9. Up to this one, J is moving. or in this case, so we can, yeah, up to I minus, no, yeah, up to I, like j එක I වලට වඩා අඩුයි. I වලට සමාන වෙන්නේ නැහැ කොයි වෙලාවක. In the j, the maximum that j can go is here. j එක 8 තමයි එන්නේ. මෙතන මේ 9ට යන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක සමාන වෙන්න බෑ. Cannot, so because of this, it goes up to, just up to I, not I. I වලට සමාන වෙන්නේ නැහැ. ඒක මෙතනින් මෙතන තමයි maximum. Right. Then finally, j and j plus 1. The next one are compared. If swapping is necessary, we do swapping. Right? So now j is here. J cannot go beyond that. Right? j වල එකක් වැඩි වුණත් මේ එතනින් එහාට යන්න බෑ. So then the inner loop stops there. Right? The loop එක එතනදී නතර වෙනවා. Then it goes beyond the loop and then it finds the outer loop again. Now outer loop එකේ I කියන්නේ 9. Right? Now these are over. Right? These comparisons are over. Now outer loop decrements I by 1. Decrement. Right? So that means I moves here. Now the new I is here now. Okay. Then it goes back into the inner loop. Inner loop again starts with J0. Right? Inner loop starts over. And then it compares j plus 1. If swapping is necessary, do that. Otherwise, do nothing. And j incremented by 1. J is incremented by 1. Like this. Now j is here. So likewise, j again moving towards this one. Up to I. I වෙනකල් ආපහු j යනවා. I වෙනකල් යනවා. I වලට එකක් අඩු වෙනකල් යනවා. J incremented by. So this is the second run actually. So that's the second run. J goes up to this one. And then finally compare these two. If swapping is necessary, do that. Otherwise do nothing and then stops. The second run stops there. Right? Then it leaves the inner loop and goes back to the outer loop. So go outer loop, I decremented by 1. I එකක් අඩු කරනවා. So I එකක් අඩු කරනවා. So then I becomes this one. Is now 7. I is here now. Then it goes back to the I එකක් අඩු කරා. So then it goes back to the inner loop. Inner loop starts over from the 0. J starts here again. And then compare these two, do whatever necessary, and then increment by 1. Now J is 1. Likewise, K goes up to I. Again, 1 before I, it stops. J මෙතෙන්ට එනකල් එනවා. Then again, inner loop stops and then it moves back to the outer loop. Outer loop, I decremented by 1. Right, then I inner loop එක ඉවරනට පස්සේ ආපහු මෙතන යනවා outer loop එකට මේකෙන් එකක් අඩු කරනවා. So likewise, so this is how we implement this algorithm. I කියන එක මෙතෙන්ට එනකල්ම එනවා. මෙතෙන්ට එනකල්. I කියන එක නතර වෙනවා. Greater than 1. Greater than 1. So that means I comes up to this. මෙතෙන්ට එනකල් එනවා. In the final step, right? In the final run, J starts with 0, start over, and then J and J plus 1, these values are compared, then I think whatever the necessary would be done, and then J goes up to 1, and then do the comparison here, and then at this point it stops. So basically they compare the first two items. That's all. එතනින් ඉවර. Loops දෙකම ඉවර. Because the outer loop goes up to 1. 1 before 1, like 1 after 1. 1 එකට එන්න කලින්. See, so this is 1. 1 එකට එන්න කලින් අතර. මෙතන. Right. Loop, outer loop goes backward, inner loop goes forward. The limit set by I. Set by outer loop. Right. That's all. The bubble sort is this. Did you get that? So here we check whether they are out of order. If these values are equal, right? If these values are equal, we do nothing. We do nothing. If the first value is larger, then only we do the swapping. We do the swapping. ඒ දෙක සමාන වුණොත් අපි මොකුත්ම කරන්නේ නැහැ. කුඩා වුණොත් හරි සමාන වුණොත් හරි මොකුත්ම කරන්නේ නැහැ. So then we have a static method. Don't worry about, static swapping method. Don't worry about this static part, right? Don't worry about these static parts. Those are just the implementation based things. But anyway, so bubble sort can be implemented like this. Bubble sort. Right now, we can use this bubble sort here. We just call bubble sort before binary search to make sure the array is in order. So here, I mean, sorting in binary search, sorting every time when we have to do the binary search is not an efficient way. Yeah, that's true. But for the sake of the use in binary search here, we can do. But we don't have to do this. If we can make sure that if we insert new values and then the array is in order, right? So then we can call this bubble sort somewhere else, right? Don't worry about now, right? We just worry about how to implement this bubble sort. So we have two loops. We have outer loop, we have an inner loop. And then we have comparison, and based on that comparison, we do swapping. Very, very simple. Very simple to understand, very simple to implement. See how simple it is. Okay, any questions? Any questions regarding the bubble sort or generally in sorting?